Sisters in the struggle for their rights, we've won freedom's fight. Oh, one strong and free, one land and one nation is our cry. Dignity and peace needs Zambia's sky, like a noble eagle in its pride. Zambia, praise to thee, O one strong and free. Praise be. Praise our great nation. Free men we stand under the flag of our land. Before we sit, please, Comrade Frank, a prayer. Amen. Thank you. We may take seats. My name is Wilson Banda. I'm part of this organization called DPP. My job is simple this morning. It's not my show, but it's for our president. It's a show for our president, Antonio Mourinho Mwanza. Mr. President.
Thank you so much to Comrade Wilson Banda, who is our party national spokesperson for the Democratic Progressive Party, DPP. Today, we will be launching the Democratic Progressive Party, a party that is duly registered, a party that has got the certificate, and a party that is united with no any form of factions. So, members of the press, and before the address, I would like us to observe just a minute of silence in honor of our late 60th President, Dr. Edgar Chagwa. Thank you. Just 1 minute of silence. Thank you. The government of the Republic of Zambia will resolve the impasse concerning the repatriation and burial of our former President Edgar Chagwa. It is in the interest of the state. It is in the and we pray that an amicable sooner than later. Now, 60 years ago, Zambia of life fought for the independence of this country. And 60 years, the independence that our forefathers fought for has eluded us. Today we talk that does not own anything. A country that is not in control of anything. A country. And the foreigners are in control of the economic power. The foreigners of the means of production. Today, this generation of young that are for far too long have the democratic to stand up their right of place. This has to take over from the independence generation. His Excellency President Hakainde Sami Hichilema will be the last of the leaders of the independence era and the independence generation. Zambia is a country that is made up of over 70% of young people. And it's an affront, it's unbelievable that 60 years down the line, the young people who form the majority of the population are out of leadership. And the young people are languishing. And the young people are used as tools of violence, as tools for political pandering. And they are used to beat up the support for the older generation. That period of using young people as tools for the older generation has come to an end today as we launch the Democratic Progressive Party. This is a party for all Zambians. And our slogan is very simple. DPP, Democratic Progressive Party, ni cha bonse. It is a party for the women, it is a party for the youth, it's a party for the older generation. We respect the role that our older generation ought to play. We need their wisdom. We need their counsel. We need their guidance. But we need the young people of today to be in front, to make decisions about their future. And this generation has an opportunity. Before I delve into the details, I want to make it very clear that I've come here to speak on behalf of the young people from the UPND, starting from those at the Secretariat of UPND. Mwachula pafula. Bami wonfya pafula. UPND has been in power for 4 years. Take a stock and look back at you. Where are you? I want to speak to the young people in all the political parties. You have an opportunity today to use the Democratic Progressive Party as your own platform. And you take it upon yourself to be the leader in your section, to be the leader in your community, to be the leader in your compound, and provide that much needed support and use this party as your own. As we are speaking today, ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 hours of power every day. 3 hours of power every day. There is no economy in the world that can operate with only 3 hours of power in a day. This load shedding has destroyed businesses. It has taken away lives. It has made people lose their jobs. People are closing their businesses. My colleagues here in Kalingalinga, the welders, my colleagues in the barber shops, my colleagues who run bars, my colleagues who depend on electricity to study at the University of Zambia, at the Copperbelt University, at UNILAS, at all the universities, Eden University, today have only 3 hours of power. Now, you might be told that this is as a result of a drought. No, it is not. The current crippling load shedding is a direct result of the failure of leadership of President Hakainde Sami Hichilema and the UPND government. Remember they told us that we'll be in Dubai, that we didn't need rainfall. Remember they told us that they had connections and they'll bring 25 billion kwacha to investment. Today, ask them, where is that money? The Zambezi River Authority, which is in charge of the water at Kariba, was very clear. In 2022, 2023, they warned that Zambia shall experience a drought. And what did ZESCO do? Instead of preserving power, ZESCO went ahead, used all our power, used all the water to generate power for exports. As we are speaking right now in the darkness, there is power in Botswana supplied by Zambia. As we are speaking right now, there is power in Tanzania supplied by Zambia. We are feeding our neighbors while crippling and damaging our own economy. ZESCO today has got middlemen who are purchasing power and selling power on behalf of ZESCO, making huge profits. And you and me have got no electricity. You and me have no power to propel our economy. So we have a country where the leaders don't care about the ordinary people. And you know why? Because your politicians don't pay for anything. They have got free electricity. Malai tisiaenda. You give them free water. You give them free fuel. They don't even know the price of fuel. Free transport, free accommodation, free water, free electricity. And to them, the only thing that matters is making a profit. It's about kuliamu, ukwakana. When the Democratic Progressive Party takes on government, we will make sure that ZESCO works for the Zambian people. We will invest in the generation capacity, invest in the distribution capacity. We will cut off middlemen. And we'll make sure that we supply power to the local communities before we supply power to foreigners and foreign countries. Our call right now is that ZESCO must renegotiate the contracts that they have signed with other countries and defer the exportation of power until they provide sufficient power to Zambia. Look at the cost of living. Electricity and fuel are the engine of the economy. When the price of fuel is going up and the price of electricity is going up, automatically the cost of doing business goes up. Automatically, the cost of living goes up. We have moved from 8,700 kwacha 4 years ago to now 11,000 kwacha for a household of 5 people in Lusaka. Just imagine how many people in this room have 11,000 kwacha as their salary. How many people out there watching this have 11,000 kwacha as their take home as a salary? And we've been reduced to beggars. As we are speaking now, almost all of us, tina mankongole mafoni. Kajumo, Kastata, Kafikiriza, Mairo wanantuinsa kenangwa madamu atika impia. Because we didn't have money to buy food. And this is a challenge that every Zambian is going through. Homes have been broken. Marriages have been torn apart. The stress levels, especially for our men, is beyond measure. And we are seeing suicides. We are seeing the crime rate going up. We are seeing divorces. Imagine, within 12 months, over 31,000 marriages dissolved. And those are only marriages that have been reported. Those of you that have got marriages where you went to court. What about me and many other Zambians who married traditionally and we don't report? Today, a lot of men have decided not to ask their wives what time they're coming back home, because you cannot control a wife whom you do not provide for. The levels of immorality in our young people is so high because you cannot control a child that you do not provide for. And our government leaders don't care, because for them, everything is free. Because for them, they are getting contracts. Because for them, they are sharing mukula. They are sharing sujilite. Today, we are talking about school fees. How many parents are struggling to take their children to school? They will tell you it's free education, primary. What's the quality of our free education? Schools without books. Teachers are using their own money to make photocopies of lessons and give to students, because this government has allocated very minimal support to schools. Some schools get as low as 10,000 kwacha as a grant. Schools without chalk. Schools without learning and teaching implements. 60 years after independence. And when you talk to them, they call us lazy. Mwaliberera handouts. We want to bakwalesa. Who in this room has ever received a handout from a politician? Who amongst those that are watching this on different platforms have ever received a handout from a politician? They are telling a woman who wakes up at 03 every day to go to Soweto. A woman who walks every day from Umtendere to Kalikiliki, to Seo Nsuko, to Seo Chikanda, that she's lazy. They are talking to a student who studies without electricity that is lazy. And remember how humble they were when they were looking for votes. But today they have got the audacity to insult our intelligence. Banati Doba. Tinabajairisa. Because when they come, we shout, bossy, 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 bossy. No. We must stand up. The young people of this country must stand up and say enough. We want young people to run as councillors, as mayors, as members of parliament, and to run for the office of the President of the Republic of Zambia. I was reading a speech and some insights from His Excellency, President Hakainde Sami Hichilema, about GDP, together with Msokotwane. And they were bragging that Zambia will record a 6.8% GDP. I said, Ababandu, what's wrong with them? Let's break down the GDP. 6.8% of GDP means this. The number one contributor is the mining sector. 65% of our entire GDP is from mining, telecommunication, wholesale and trading, and construction. Who owns the mines? It's foreigners. All the money that is coming from the mines is being siphoned away and being taken out of this country to develop foreign countries. And the only thing that we remain with as a nation is migodi and pollution. So when you talk about 6.8% of the GDP, what are you talking about when that money is being siphoned out? When you talk about GDP, 6.8%, the telecommunications are one of the major contributors. Airtel, MTN, all these are foreign companies. They're getting the money and taking it out of the country. You've got Zamtel, which we have failed to innovate, failed to invest in, and failed to propel, and it has got the smallest market share, despite it being in charge of the broadband. And you talk about 6.8% of GDP, whose economic flight is being taken away and taken outside of this country. Construction. Every major government construction program, every major construction project is being handled by foreigners. Foreign companies are the ones that are running these things. And they are getting everything and siphoning it out of the country. Even in Makombo, Mwamechokera, Mtonga, Wachoka Pakalingalinga, Nwanzanga. Vanatenga marandizi, tundemba tonse. Vanatenga. There is nothing we own in this country. The banking sector, with over 126 billion kwacha worth of assets, is run by foreign banks. Out of 17 banks, Zambia only has shares in 2, Zanaco and Indo-Zambia Bank. You can't talk about the Industrial Commercial Bank, it is not working. So all the money that you send, whether it is through Airtel money, all that money you send is being siphoned out of this country, and you remain with nothing but figures on your piece of paper and talk about GDP, 6.8%. When you can't provide drugs in the hospitals, you can't provide books in the schools, you can't provide water. Ubunonshi, wabafyepa pepala. We will change that. As Democratic Progressive Party, we believe that this country belongs to the Zambians, and that Zambians must be the ones to own and control the means of production. For as long as the means of production, for as long as the strategic economic sectors are in the hands of foreigners, there will be no development in this country. Go to hotels run by foreigners. Go to Livingstone. Go to Siavonga. All the fancy lodges are run by foreigners. Go to the shopping malls. All the shopping malls are run by foreigners. There is nothing that we own as a nation. There is nothing. And we will change that, because we believe very strongly that Zambia must own the means of production. So mining, agriculture, energy, telecommunication, technological systems, tourism, these are not gifts to foreigners. They are the backbone of our economy, and we'll make sure that there is no strategic sector where foreigners have the majority shareholding. All the mines, we will restructure the agreements and make sure that 51% as a minimum benchmark shall go to the Zambians and Zambian firms. We will ensure that we deal with the issue of debt restructuring. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, it is embarrassing that we're talking about $1.6 billion as debt. Remember, $1.6 billion, this is the money that we've gotten from IMF and World Bank. Uyu Mark Zuckerberg, mfana Mark Zuckerberg. WhatsApp page, WhatsApp company, Meta, Facebook, is worth, in terms of value, more than our GDP. Are we not ashamed that we are talking about going to IMF to beg for $1.6 billion? Are we not ashamed? This government has given tax breaks, tax holidays to mining firms. We are losing a minimum of $3.8 billion US every year, 12 months. 3.8 to 4 billion US is lost in tax avoidance, tax evasion, transfer pricing, creative accounting. And as if that is not enough, your president has gone ahead and said, for the Emirates, we don't want money. So for the exports, you will be exporting for free. 10%, we are putting it on recess as a cancellation. You know how much 10% means we are losing 150 million US dollars every 12 months from the suspension of the 10% export duty on emeralds. Who own emeralds? Kajem, Grizzly, Chantete. Are these Zambians? The answer is no. You are not giving tax breaks and tax holidays to your small and medium scale enterprises, but you are giving tax holidays to foreigners. And you are even proud to go and commission projects owned, run, controlled by foreigners. And you think that foreign direct investment will bring change? Ladies and gentlemen, it will not bring change. There's no country in the world that has been developed by foreigners. No country in the world that has been developed by foreign direct investment. No country in the world. Every country has been developed by its own people, by taking responsibility, by taking ownership, by taking control. You don't develop the country by commissioning projects owned, controlled by foreigners. You don't do that. So we will make sure that we give power to the people, that every community sitting on wealth, copper, gold, must benefit. It breaks my heart. You go to Kaseseri, Kusolowezi, you go to gold. Look at the levels of poverty for our people. Bakumba gold. But look at the poverty levels. No water, no roads, no hospitals. Go to the copper belt. Many cities where we're mining from are ghost cities. We will make sure that every company that is operating in these spaces must give a fair share of their profits to the communities where they're operating from, because we need to improve these communities. You know, when we talk about banks, it breaks my heart. I've said 60% of bank branches for all these banks and Lusaka and Copper Belt, leaving the rural areas completely cut off. The Zambia's banking sector is 67% controlled by foreigners. Our vision as a Democratic Progressive Party is to put up a financial system for Zambians, by Zambians, where banks are locally owned, credit is affordable, and rural people are included. And financial profits must work for this country. We shall launch a Zambian Bank Creation Fund with an initial 1 billion kwacha as seed money to set up our own banks. We shall cut bank licensing fees by 50% for local investors for the next 5 years. This will ensure that Zambia gains control of their own money and not foreigners. Imagine today, how many of us in this room can get a loan from a bank? Because first thing was up for that collateral. Inechoka kwa kalingalinga. Collateral nzacho sako? How many young people today have collateral? If you are failing to have food, you are failing to take your children to school, if you are failing to make ends meet, how are you going to have collateral? We will provide tax credits to foreign banks that localize ownership, and will establish an SME credit guarantee fund to reduce the interest on the loans. You know, our friends are very interesting. They believe that you can develop an economy by squeezing liquidity. So you have seen them increasing the monetary policy rate. You have seen them increasing the statutory reserve ratios. What that does is that it takes away liquidity from the economy. You bring down inflation simply by raising your production and your exports. That is the only way that you raise your foreign exchange. Would like to create 200,000 jobs just from the banking sector finance, and the insurance market alone. These are things that we can do in the next 5 years. We want to expand microfin and the concept of village banking because it is working. Vimatishu kunyumba tipulumukira muli ka village banking kama damu. Banankala pamozi tuma groups azimai basongera ndo ma 500 kwacha. Vaenda ku Young Firozi, vaenda vikungula, vimatishu, groceries. These concepts work. All we need to do is to inject enough resources and help our women, help our youth. And as the Democratic Progressive Party, we're going to have a seed microfinancial institute to grow client and reach 50,000 young people and women. And in the next 5 years, we target to have 500,000 young people and young women on microfinance and village banking. We will endeavor to train 100,000 villagers in village banking groups, in bookkeeping, in savings, and in microloans management. These are things that are doable. These are things that a government that cares about the people must concentrate on. We shall launch a nationwide financial literacy campaign reaching 10 million citizens by 2030 because we understand that not all of us understand the art of money, the art of saving, and the art of growing. Some of us don't have that art, don't have that skill. And we need to teach our people how to grow wealth, how to save. And we will ensure that all banks at least provide 1%, all local banks, all Zambian-owned banks will dedicate 1% of annual profits to community projects. So we can have money for education, health, and agriculture. That way we can sustain our young people, sustain the country, create job opportunities, and create a Zambia where all of us can be proud of. I've heard the story of CDF, and you've been told that it's a game changer. Now, here where we are is Kalingalinga. And I don't know whether Vamtonga or Merai, you have seen and felt what CDF has done for you. You see, the biggest problem with our colleagues is failure to understand some of these projects, why they were made in the first place. CDF was made for small community projects. I saw the Minister of Community Development, actually local government, crying that the people that got CDF loans are not paying. I said, I'm done. You gave loans to cadres. You take taxpayers' money, Zambia's taxpayers' money, makolonganyama kada, and you give them taxpayers' money, and you expect them to pay back. We will make sure that, first of all, there is a scrutiny of who gets taxpayers' money. We will make sure that we train the groups that we give taxpayers' money. And we will make sure that we put safeguards, monitoring mechanisms to ensure that the people's money is protected. And as Democratic Progressive Party, we have itemized the key challenges in CDF. Number one is a bureaucratic red tape. The Public Procurement Act number 8 of 2020 imposes very rigid tender procedures that often delay the commencement of CDF projects. If you look at the CDF Act of 2018, it requires that all projects
must be submitted, all projects lists must be submitted to the Minister of Local Government and the Rural Development for approval. Imagine 156 constituencies and all the projects that each constituency has agreed upon on CDF must first be submitted to the minister in Lusaka. We will amend the Procurement Act to create a special CDF procurement framework with simplified thresholds for local level projects. And we will remove the role of a cabinet minister sitting in Lusaka to be the one making decisions of which projects must be given out and which projects shouldn't. How do you sit in Lusaka and assume that all the 156 constituencies need Land Cruisers? Who asked you, who told you that in Karingaringa we want a Land Cruiser? Who told you? Who told the minister that us we want a Land Cruiser? Who told him that you have to give us a Land Cruiser as an ambulance? Who told him? And you see this smallness of thinking that sinking boreholes and commissioning toilets is a way to develop this country must come to an end. We cannot develop this country if we continue to believe in the smallness that we have seen in the past 60 years. We must think bigger, think for the next 100 years, and think outside the box. The second weakness of CDF, and we want them to work on these issues because you don't need to wait, is that the local government, many of them have no capacity. The councils lack qualified engineers, planners, procurement staff to manage large allocations. This has resulted to poor project designs, inflated contracts, and abandoned works. You are getting taxpayers' money, 27 million kwacha, and you are putting it in a pit. Ngarama zabantu zienda, year in, year out. And there's nothing that is happening to change their lives, to change the economy, to create jobs. We shall amend the Local Government Service Act to allow councils to directly recruit technical staff, planners, engineers, accountants, instead of depending on the Public Service Commission in Lusaka. We shall ensure that the Auditor General's reports showcase all the audit queries and enforce stronger penalties for all officers that are flouting the CDF regulations and those that are stealing CDF money. We shall strengthen the CDF Act to introduce criminal liability for officials and contractors as well as those that get CDF loans. We shall empower the Anti-Corruption Commission and the Auditor General to conduct real-time monitoring, because we cannot allow a situation where cadres can get government money and they move. If you're a chairman, if you're a bomber, when a person is a chairman, a chair lead. We cannot allow that. We cannot allow that. We shall introduce a graduated allocation system linking disbursements to performance and absorption. So if we give you CDF and you fail to deliver, to absorb it, to use it prudently, then you know you'll not be qualified for the next tranche of financing. You can't continue giving people money that they're not accounting for. It doesn't make sense. This is taxpayers' money. We shall amend the CDF guidelines to make the ministry clearance mandatory before project approval. We will remove this. We will give the councils the leverage, the authority to make decisions on which projects must be given money. And all projects that are given, they must publish them on their websites, on their notice boards, that this project has gone to this company, this is the amount of money involved, these are the timelines, these are the expected works, and this is what we need to achieve. And we shall make sure that there is serious monitoring and evaluation of projects at all levels. I want to talk about the state of our democracy. If you saw yesterday when we were advertising this, and I want to thank the media that are here and all of you that are watching us across this country on different platforms. We said we will address the nation. And it was simple. Because if we said today is the official launch of the Democratic Progressive Party, I'm very sure that an overzealous police officer would have come here and would have been asking us for a permit. So we have learned the way they play their Mingalato. And we just say we address the nation. Se mwapeza kapokola pano. No, tamkwete permit na tumfuat no for security reasons. Which security? We are from Kalingalinga. Who can endanger us? This is our country. So we deliberately just said we are going to have a national address. Fellow countrymen, our politics have become too small, too petty, too tribal, and too polarizing. We have reached a dangerous point where people will support what they know deep down in their hearts that it is wrong, but they'll support it because it's coming from the political party where they belong. I look at my friends, the praise singers. Tivutika nao mkomboni. And if you want to know the state of hunger, mukaende pa secretariat ya UPND. That's when you know the state of hunger in this country. But you're going to have people praising what is wrong. Deep down in their hearts, they know this is wrong, but they'll praise it because this has been said by their political party, by their political leaders, and their president. And you're going to have people that are going to fight you, even when they agree with what you are saying. Yesterday, we saw people accusing us that we want to sell our souls to UPND, even when they know what we are and what we stand for. But because of the pettiness, the bitterness, the hatred, and the smallness of our politics, you don't even want to agree that the guy from the other side has got a brilliant idea that you need to support, just because it doesn't come from your camp. This culture has killed honest debate in our country. Good ideas are rejected. Objective criticism is condemned. And the leadership is reduced to a game of sides, not service to the people. I've seen His Excellency, the President Hakainde Sami Hichilema, saying you are against the constitutional reforms because you hate him. I looked at my daughter and said, please, this is not a love-hate thing. This is a country we're talking about. This is not a game of hate. There's nobody who hates you, Mr. President. This is not a game of love. This is an issue of providing leadership to the people. It's about providing water, roads, bridges, jobs to the people who are suffering. It's not an issue of feelings. It's not an issue of hatred. And sometimes I sit and wonder, because I've got one young man whom I've learned on social media, Dunstan Lungu. He's always putting up the posts of His Excellency, the President Hakainde Sami Hichilema. All the things he used to say when he was in opposition, for the 15 years he was in opposition, and how he has changed course now. Mr. President, you criticized your predecessors. Allow us to hold you accountable. Allow us to criticize you. And we shall do so with no fear. We shall hold you accountable. For you are in that office for the people of Zambia. For you are in that office to deliver. For you are in that office to serve. So it's not a hate-love relationship. There's nothing about hate. What is wrong must be condemned. Our people have lost trust. They elect you as a leader, you turn out into a motivational speaker. People are not looking for a motivational speaker. They are looking for a president that is going to give solutions to the issues affecting them. A president that is going to end load shedding. A president that is going to create jobs for the people. A president that will respect each and everyone, irrespective of where you come from. They're looking for a president who is going to provide leadership on the international stage. They are looking for a president who is going to unite this country. We're not interested in speeches, in press briefings. We're not interested in motivational speeches. We are hungry. We need food. We need shelter. We need schools. We need hospitals that are properly supplied. Our leaders have lost trust. Our people have lost trust in our leaders. They have lost confidence. They no longer see leaders as servants, but as masters. And our media, I need to talk to you, my colleagues, because you are my friends through and through. Our media, instead of amplifying truth, too often magnifies petty quarrels while silencing the real struggles of our people. Gentlemen and ladies of the Fourth Estate, let's put spotlight on the issues that matter, on policy issues, on agriculture, on mining. Those small quarrels which politicians pick every day shouldn't be the lead stories in our media. It should be about ideas. It should be about manifestos. It should be about policy. Our young people, we cannot use our time on Facebook to make Mwaka and Kazad viral, but you don't want to make Mourinho viral. Make this viral. Make this address viral. Make this launch viral. Talk about your issues that affect you. You have got no jobs, you've got no opportunities, you've got no income. These are the things that our young people must focus on. And we're a nation that is simply distracted. When there's a major issue, one misguided chap comes up with a video. And social media is taken a wash about a video of our young, misguided youth who needs counsel, who needs love, who needs to be embraced. Let's go viral, guys. Mweba iche, imisepela, mayusi. Let's go viral on issues that matter. We have watched these videos, Yomangri and Amanektai. Those are not things that will add any value to you. We should go viral on issues that matter. Let's use social media to raise awareness, to hold this government accountable, and to make sure that the same way we put in there using social media, that is the same way we should use social media to remove them and usher in a democratic progressive party leadership that will deal with the problems facing the young people, facing the women, and facing the generation of today. I stand before you with hope, with humility, with confidence in what Zambia can do. Hope that Zambia can rise above this. Hope that our politics can be bigger than tribe, than party, than petty fights, than selfish ambitions. We must build trust. We must restore dignity. We must put the people first, not politicians. Together we can build a nation where leadership is about service, where criticism is embraced, divergent views are embraced, and where truth is never silenced. I want to talk to my fellow political leaders in the opposition. People are saying there's no opposition because we have failed to provide guidance. We have failed to inspire a nation and provide hope. And we are here as Democratic Progressive Party to provide the platform for all Zambians, to provide that hope, to inspire a nation to work together as a team, as one Zambia, as one nation. This issue of tribe. My son, Romeo, who is doing his 4th year in university, who was helping me to draft these notes, as I'm not computer savvy, doesn't know anything about tribe. Doesn't know anything about tribe. Where we meet, where we drink from, we don't know anything about tribe. Whenever you see a politician talking about tribe and using tribalism, just know they have run out of ideas. A politician will use tribe to win elections, to win votes. Just take a simple analysis of all these politicians. Go back to their villages and see what they have done for their villages. Nothing, zero. But when it suits them, they use tribe. They use ethnicity to gain votes. The era of the 60s, those that thrive on tribalism, ends today. We are ushering in a new generation of leaders, of entrepreneurs, that will see each other as Zambians, that will embrace each other as Zambians, that will have nothing to do with petty divisions of where you come from. All of us here have got friends that come from other tribes. All of us here have got relatives that come from other tribes. All of us have married from other tribes. We are one Zambia. We are one nation. We are one people. Don't allow petty politicians in Lusaka to destroy the unity of the nation that we've built over the last 60 years with their pettiness of tribalism. No. So we in the opposition must provide credible checks and balances. We in the opposition must provide alternative policies. We in the opposition must not be afraid to speak. Democracy under the UPND is under massive threat. Seditious charges, cybercrime, these are laws that have been used to silence the opposition. Right now, as I'm speaking to this nation, they are looking through every word that I speak. They want to find somewhere where there's hate speech, somewhere where they can charge me with sedition, somewhere where they can use the cybercrime law to pin me down. We are not afraid. We will speak for this country because it belongs to all of us. The UPND must stop abusing the justice system, using cyber crime laws and using seditious laws to clamp down on opposing voices. They should allow the Zambia police to work as professionals, to do their job and allow us from the opposition to freely mobilize and speak to our people, to have rallies and to have protests peacefully as provided for in the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia. We are worried and concerned, very concerned, with the state of the Electoral Commission of Zambia. We believe the Electoral Commission of Zambia has reduced itself to an appendage of the UPND. We don't believe that the Electoral Commission of Zambia, in its current structure, in its current format, can produce credible, free elections in 2026. The Electoral Commission of Zambia has the Electoral Process Act number 35 of 2016. They have the Electoral Commission of Zambia Act of 2018. The Electoral Commission of Zambia has failed to enforce these acts, to stop the violence in by-elections, to stop the vote buying in by-elections, to stop the abuse of state resources where those in government are using government facilities, government vehicles to do their campaigns. The Electoral Commission of Zambia must become professional, enforce the laws equitably, and ensure that they provide a free, fair, and credible election in 2026. Corruption, transparency. That's our framework. We were taught that there will be zero tolerance to corruption. Today, the Auditor General's office does an audit, and they keep it a secret. Today, the Anti-Corruption Commission of Zambia tells you that they have got ministers whom they are investigating, but they do not have the power nor the courage to name them. We don't blame SCC. SCC has been taken to community house. It is being housed under State House. we as Democratic Progressive Party will ensure autonomy and total separation of powers. That the Anti-Corruption Commission, the Drug Enforcement Commission, the Zambia Police, under the Democratic Progressive Party shall operate professionally and independently without any interference from the politicians. And in keeping, ending the theft, pilferage, and mismanagement that is going on, we are proposing the following. And this, please, we want the UPND government to take note of these policy measures and use them, even as they are waiting to march out. They still have got some 11 months. They can implement these policies that we are proposing, and they can change things. In terms of procurement, we as Democratic Progressive Party will ensure open and competitive procurement. All tenders will be conducted through an e-procurement portal which is accessible to the public. One of the biggest challenges when it comes to corruption, it is the issue of interference. For you to get a contract, you need to know someone. Ngatuzi wa mwale, nish contract tuzaiona. You take your own karata, you want transfer. Transfer ankalirapo karata. Inasowa, but ya lunch, mwasi yako ya lunch. No. We shall digitize all government operations to ensure that we remove the human interference. We shall publish all awarded contracts, suppliers, and the prices on the ZAMSA website within 7 days of award. We shall introduce medicine price reference index to prevent inflated pricing benchmarks. You saw that they were inflating prices of medicines of up to 1,700%. And you sit as head of state. And it's normal. Kwacha mwatenga na mamota kedi, wazamsa baba mangwala. Mazuro futu mabweramo, wazamsa baba mangwala. And you go and sleep. We will not tolerate that. We will ensure that all suppliers will have to register and pre-qualify before supplying. We shall evaluate their past performances, evaluate price competitiveness. We shall ensure they have got the proven capacity to deliver, and we shall ban for life any company that will be found wanting. All large tenders must be audited by an independent third party before contracts are finalized. And we shall establish a multi-task, multi-sector holder tender oversight committee from anti-corruption, including Anti-Corruption Commission, the Office of the Auditor General, the Minister of Home Affairs, the Minister of Health, the medical professionals, and opposition members of parliament to ensure transparency, accountability, and that we remove corruption. We shall ensure that we have an end-to-end digital tracking. This is 2025 in Mwanza. There is no way that in 2025 you can have a situation where you don't even have CCTV cameras at ZAMSA. That's unacceptable. I would like to quickly go to the education sector. Now, me, I'm a teacher by profession. Okay? By profession. I'm a teacher by profession. Trained by the University of Zambia. The University of Zambia, Yunza Kudara. Not Yunza, many bantu want to mira mafoni mori nyobana wako ni chani. Ijamene Yunza Kudara. Ya no computer, no internet, no chat GPT. And education is very dear to me. The biggest challenge we have, ladies and gentlemen, is the curriculum. I can't believe that in 2025, we are still dealing with zinjanthropers, grasshoppers, Mwenemutapa Kingdom. Under the Democratic Progressive Party, we will introduce a modernized curriculum that is aligned with international standards while being tailored to Zambia's unique socio-economic realities. The curriculum will emphasize critical thinking, creativity, innovation, and practical skills that directly respond to the demands of the job market and national development. I was sitting with one of the former permanent secretaries in the Ministry of Education, and I asked him, in our PS, irias ya sexual education, yauti mabuku mwaletamu tukabudula twabana, inachoka kuti. He said, donor-funded projects, because we have failed to provide enough funding to schools, to the Curriculum Development Center, to print books. So now they force on you, ufuna sufuna unkala warenbo. They print books for you and insert in those books things that are against your culture. Because a beggar is not a chooser. These are the practical and actionable measures that we will take as the DPP. And we want the UPND to take note of these. This is about Zambia. We shall establish a National Curriculum Review Commission with educators, industry experts, technologists, and community leaders to ensure the curriculum meets both global and local needs. We shall conduct 5-year curriculum reviews to keep pace with changing global trends and local needs. We shall ensure digital literacy, introduce computer studies and coding from primary school up to tertiary level. AI is here to stay. Robotics are here to stay. Technology has moved. 5G is here to stay. We can't continue talking about Zinjanthropus in 2025. We shall integrate environmental education. We need to deal with issues of climate change, sustainable agriculture, sustainable mining. You have metals polluting your major river, one of the rivers that is giving water to the entire country. And first of all, you wait for foreigners, Americans, to tell you that your people are being affected with radioactivity material. They are being affected with radioactive material. That your people are imbibing uranium. It takes foreigners to tell you that your water is contaminated, that your rivers are polluted, and you sit. And overzealously, you even go, mwambakumwa na mineral water. You know, some of these things we do, we should be very careful. This power is very temporal. We have seen people who thought they're untouchable. Where are they today? We will not allow what Metals has done under Democratic Progressive Party. We will hold Zema accountable. We will hold Metals accountable. The effects of that pollution, the effects of what people are going through might not be felt now. But anyone who has done simple research, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, up to date, 50 years down the line, people are still suffering from the effects of the nuclear and atomic energy. We want this government to take charge and ensure that Metals and every mining firm that is involved in polluting our land, our rivers, is held accountable. You can't have this disjointed. First of all, the minister goes, the water is safe. Another minister says, no, we shall only know the impact after an independent assessment. The other character goes, he goes and drinks mineral water. You can't be toying with people's lives. You can't. We shall invest in infrastructure and technology integration. We shall promote industrialization. We want to focus on a shift from rote learning to competence-based assessments. I went to school. When you go to school so many times like I have done, you come to start questioning your education. And this school, what is the idea here? What I'm learning in school, I can't find it in the market. So we will make sure that there is a connection between the industry and the education. And there will be apprenticeship. We want people to get trained. You are at school. If you are doing geology, during the holidays, you must be attached to a mining firm. If you are doing law during the holidays, you must be attached to a law firm. You must learn these things as you are growing on with your education. Let's look at teacher recruitment. We have challenges to do with teacher recruitment. We will make sure that, first of all, there will be transparency. We will digitize the recruitment process. Transfers, upgrades shall be done digitally so that you remove the corruption. You don't need to pay anyone for you to have your pay grade upgraded, because these things you have worked for them. I would like to end by talking about the health sector, because this is one of the things that this country really is grappling with. And I'll focus on the issue of NEMA. You know, NEMA was meant for people who don't have money. People like myself, people like many people in the compounds, in the villages. But NEMA is not working because government has failed to finance NEMA properly. Under the Democratic Progressive Party, we will make sure that we improve coverage from the current 35% of the population to 80%. We will make sure that we provide the much needed finance to clear the backlog that NEMA has. We pay off all those that we owe. I want to talk about debt. Ladies and gentlemen, there will be no contraction of debt without parliamentary approval. We will operationalize the constitutional requirement that Parliament, as the People's Assembly, must agree on the date that we want to contract on behalf of Zambia. We will not allow Mungulu debt contraction. And as far as the IMF is concerned, I want to make it very clear. We shall collaborate with the IMF on technical matters, on concessional loans, but not on getting austerity measures from IMF where they tell us that you have to remove subsidies on fuel and remove subsidies on electricity. No. Under the Democratic Progressive Party, we shall subsidize electricity and fuel. And some people have asked me, where will the money come from? Just look at the FIC reports. Just for 2024, FIC reports show that we lost $3.5 billion US unaccounted for. If you do the auditing in the mine, it will show you we are losing up to $4 billion US every 12 months. We will remove tax holidays, tax breaks. We will pay all the VAT backlog refunds, but after that, we will remove the VAT refunds. We will make sure that the mining companies and all major conglomerates pay a fair share of taxes, and we shall use that money that we are losing from corruption, that we are losing from tax evasion, that we are losing from transfer pricing, that we are losing from unaccounted for tax revenue. That is the money that we will use to subsidize electricity, to subsidize fuel, because these are the engines of your economy. If you don't do that, ladies and gentlemen, you are going nowhere. I know they tell you that no, subsidies don't work. Every nation subsidizes. Every nation in the world that is serious with development subsidizes. So we shall prioritize and subsidize. As we end, I want to say this. To all those who don't know which political party to belong to all those whose political parties have got factions and you don't know where to go, you've got 3 presidents in one political party. This is your party, DPP. To all the UPND structures that have suffered in the last 4 years, this is your party, DPP. To all the young people of this country, all the women, all the adults, this is your party. Use the Democratic Progressive Party as your platform to liberate this country, to develop this country, to change the way we live, and to create a new Zambia where we own our resources, where we have control over our resources, where we don't listen to IMF and World Bank or listen to China or listen to America, but we listen to our own people. This is your party. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have officially launched the Democratic Progressive Party, and we shall move every breath of this country. We shall knock on every door, and we shall talk to all of you, and we will listen to you, and we will create a better platform. To the UPND, be ready. We will hold you accountable for everything that you do and for everything that you omit to do. To my opposition political leaders, this is your party. Let us unite and build a country that will see jobs for the young people. Our target is to have 1.5 million jobs in the next 5 years by industrializing in mining, agriculture, telecommunication, trade, value addition. And to the small and medium scale enterprises, we will make sure we will give you tax breaks. We will reduce your tax burdens. There is no way that ZRA is leaving foreigners who are owing millions and millions of dollars, but they are punishing our small and medium scale enterprises. DPP Chawonse, may God bless Zambia and may God bless all of us. Thank you. Thank you, members of the press. I stopped talking about housekeeping. I'm now the president. I'm leaving. Let me just leave these gadgets. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Mirai.
Thank you so much. We've heard it all. We are equal to task. I think those of you who know us in the media, Joy FM, those who give us platforms. I'm coming from a background of dealing with timber as a spokesperson in that industry. We are here to offer checks and balances and to make sure that that comfort zone President HH is feeling, he will no longer feel it. You have seen that, or you have heard that there is no opposition. Now we've given you one. And we'll make sure that we give him a good run for his money.